Welcome, everyone, to Dream Domes Scandinavia and Aurora Smart Technologies. My name is Gerard, and this is.
Diana Alger-Poole.
Okay, we are the representatives of Dream Domes Scandinavia here in the United States. We'd like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about how we came to be the representatives of Dream Domes Scandinavia and why we created this website. We're going to talk a little bit about ourselves, what we love about the Dream Domes, and why we think there's such a fantastic innovation in the engineering and architectural fields, and how we came to the decision to become representatives for Dream Domes Scandinavia here in the United States. So first of all, who are we? Take it away,
Well, I'm Diana. I'm a mom of two, a grandmother of six, and I'm also an accountant by education, training, and experience. I retired after a long career, and now I'm getting ready to start my second career as a CFO of Aurora Smart Technologies.
Excellent. And my name, as I said, is Gerard. My entire lifetime has actually been in the humanities. I've been a musician and a sort of philosopher, but basically ethnomusicologist, which is the anthropology of music. About 8 years ago, I got the idea to start a technology company. We called it Aurora Smart Technology. We have 5 patents now, and the first patent was for our first product, which was the Aurora Bright Bikes, which I'll talk a little bit more later on, but you can see the link below for Aurora Smart Technologies if you're interested. What I found when I first saw these domes was that there's a definite overlap between what I was doing with Aurora and the domes themselves. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But first of all, how did we become representatives for Dream Domes Scandinavia?
Well, we got married in 2022, and we proceeded to establish some goals for the rest of our lives. And among those goals was number one, to establish a base of operations somewhere away from the pressure and the expense of a major metropolitan city. And the second of our goals was to travel and experience everything the United States has to offer while we were pursuing opportunities, and Gerard was completing and continuing his academic pursuits, and also to grow the reach of Aurora Smart Technologies. Very simple idea, right? Not original, but very simple. So we sold the house. That was the first plan. And we bought the land up on the mountains. And this is a picture of the land. This is the view that we're going to have for the rest of our lives.
Yep, we love it. It's a beautiful land. It's not cleared there yet, but you get an idea.
Right. But then the next question was, what are we going to put on the land? What should we build?
Oh, but we skipped one little part. When we travel, what are we going to travel in?
Oh, well, when we travel, we're going to be traveling in the Champagne Lady.
Voila.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Champagne Lady, Gerard?
Yes, in 1973, Canyonlands, GMC, there's still a lot of them on the road. People just formed a kind of a cult around them. They love them. I love mine, love it. And right there, I happen to be one of the first people in that meadow, but this is actually a Burning Man regional. It's either Euphoria or Alchemy. I'm not sure. One night I was playing the guitar out there, and some people came by, and we started jamming. They started listening to me. The next day, a guy came by and said that someone was having some kind of heat stroke or something. They needed a substitute real quick for the first hours of the show, even though it was at night. And so I had a blast. But anyways, that was one of wasn't the maiden voyage of the RV was to Burning Man itself. At any rate, that's the Champagne Lady.
So then our next big question came, what are we going to build up on the top of that mountain?
There you go, $1 million question. So one of the first things we looked at was the geodesic dome. In fact, it was this company, Pacific Domes, and we liked them a lot. In fact, we were kind of convinced at the time that this might be the way we were going to go. Diana, how did we come across that? How did that happen?
Well, you were looking at domes, and one day, I think, just kind of out of the blue, you said, what do you think of the way this thing looks? And I really surprised you, and I said, that is really cool. I think I could get on board with that.
I didn't think she would. I really didn't. But she loved them. She thought we were great. So we did a lot of investigation with these domes. We also did the zooms. We did I got a little list here. We looked at aircrete constructions. That's concrete that's been filled with a foam with a kind of air. We did reinforced polyurethane foam. We did the Zoom domes. I already said that. We did a number of, oh yeah, the bioceramic. The ceramic domes are very nice, and we like them also. But after looking at all of these different domes and studying them, we came away that each one of them had some kind of flaw or something that we just personally didn't like enough to say, okay, this is the house we're going to live in.
Well, and then we came across the polycarbonate domes with aluminum framing, and we were so intrigued. They were beautiful.
They're just stunningly beautiful. They were fascinating. This picture doesn't show the curtains, so they're wide up so you can see inside. This is a large 10-meter dome that you'll see throughout this website. This one is large enough to be a small home. And we were just fascinated with them. So we did our research. The polycarbonate comes from Germany. I've already been familiar with that, and you'll see why, some of my products. The aircraft industry aluminum framing was very impressive to me because I've been working with that. The LEDs, of course, the Chinese are the masters at the LEDs, and they have a certain aesthetic that these domes obviously reflect because they're the design people behind it. And smart technologies. Now, the smart technology so far with the dome is very simple. I worked on, with my product, we have an app that's actually fairly sophisticated. And so I will show you what I'm talking about right here, just briefly. So that's the Aurora Bright Bike. And as you see, it's made out of polycarbonate. Here, these joints were not polycarbonate. They were, they were made out of carbon fiber. These here are 3D printed polycarbonate. But we moved on because we're not sure about them just yet, if they're ready for prime time. And so the new ones now coming along are from aviation grade aluminum. So we're going to have aluminum brackets, polycarbonate, tubing. So the app that we've developed is actually pretty sophisticated. We use the lighting as a feedback system, and we're using a Pi, as a matter of fact. A Raspberry Pi. So we've got a lot of features that go beyond just the safety of the bike. But that's another subject. You can look it up. I'll leave the link below. But you can see then right away that there's a definite correlation there between my interest, what my company was doing, and here I'll put it up again, and the domes, the Dream Domes. In a sense, my bikes, I'll be living in something that I've been building to ride on. At any rate, we're both fascinated with them, but it almost looked like it was too good to be true. I mean, really, is this thing solid? Is it going to stand up? Does it leak? Because that was a problem with a lot of the domes. How good is this? Well, we had no way of finding out because there weren't any in the United States. So, Miss Alger, what did we have to do?
Well, we had to go to Norway so that we could actually see them, touch them, feel them, experience them.
Exactly. And I wanted to kick them to make sure they were solid and stomp up and down the stairs. So at any rate, that's what we did. We bought some tickets. We got in touch with a fellow named Tor, who is the representative, I think, the whole Western world for the original company, which is Lucy. And great people, wonderful people. But we went to Norway.
Wow. Just watching that again brings about that feeling of adrenaline just pumping. That was so thrilling.
It was beautiful. It was thrilling. But do we want to do it again?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I don't know.
Well, to start off, we loved Norway. And we stayed in two glamping domes, Dream Domes, in two different glamping locations. The first was the Ripetopen Adventure Park. This picture was taken there. I'll
It's the
turn
dome
it
we
over.
stayed in.
Yes, we stayed in that dome, and I'll turn it over to the photographer to talk about it now.
Well, I took a whole lot of pictures. We're going to see more. And Ripetopen was very interesting because it was an athletic adventure park for entire families. So you'd have really little kids that were climbing up and down cliffs, with the gear and the equipment. And there's canoeing, a waterfall. We took a canoe out to the waterfall in the middle of the night, but of course it wasn't really night. It was more or less daytime. But it was really beautiful. But as you can see, this was the first dome we actually got to stay in and see it with our own eyes and kick it, look at it, test everything, and it was really just beautiful. It overlooked a lake, which you'll see in a second. There it is. So this was as dark as it ever got. This was about, I don't know, probably 3 in the morning when I got up and took these pictures. This is the inside, and there's Diana. You can see how nice the curtains are. Now they're deep gray. They just looked that because of the color, but you can see how the LEDs light up. Those LEDs go around the rim. What we found was the construction of the polycarbonate was, I mean, this was excellent quality polycarbonate. And you could really tell how well they knew how to use it because I don't know if you can see it here, but when you get around to that's in the daytime, when you get around to the windows, you can see the windows there. The polycarbonate has to mold out to hold the aluminum casing. Everything that has to do with wherever you see a frame, outlining the windows, whatever, this is all aluminum. Again, aircraft, aviation industry aluminum. And it's beautifully built, but the polycarbonate around them is just flawless. That's difficult to do. This is not just a slab of poly. See, there you go. There you see how beautifully done that is. And you only see those lines because of the lighting, because of the way they're standing. But you really just stand up a little ways, and it's just flawless. And these aluminum frames that are used for the window. There's a mosquito screen inside. Of course, the frames themselves. That's what you're seeing going up and down. It's just first class all around the rim. It's all aluminum as well. So we were very pleased with the structure. Those are the curtains. We love them. The top curtains work with an app. The lights work with an app. These curtains, the larger curtains, you do that by hand. You just move them over, and they have magnets that bring them together automatically. So you can see what a beautiful scene that is. I mean, there's the.
Gerard, what size are those domes?
Those are the 5.3 meter, and what we found it's on the smaller side of the whole range that goes from 2.1 that's usually used for bathrooms. That's in the Stargate, but they go all the way up to the 10 meter. And still, as a hotel room, which is what glamping is very well. You tell them, how comfortable was that?
It was. It was enough room for a king size bed, a couple of chairs, a little coat tree to hang things on, a coffee
it was
table.
roomy, very roomy, and that's not a very big dome as far as the ones that they make. So that's Ripetopen, and we really, really liked everything about it. We liked Ripetopen. We had a great time there, and then we moved on. We traveled through the northern part of Norway, and that's where we had that little video of the Trolls Ladder. So then we went on to where?
So then we went to a place called Romsdal Glamping. It was a different vibe entirely. There were just a few domes, one Dream Dome, and a few other assorted domes.
This might be a place to interject that both of these domes were built to replace other kinds of domes that we will mention that were leaking and having a lot of problems in both cases. And in fact, it's at the Rapatopen, they're building the first 10-meter dome diagonally from where we were staying. So this is the inside. It's very similar to the other one. It's another 5.3. It was more romantic, as you could say. It was kind of what would you call this?
I would call it a honeymoon vibe. You know, the his and hers, flowers, purples and grays, and
And this was because there was a huge rain, and so we put the cushions up like that. It rained a whole lot, so it really gave us a good idea was all these things are waterproof. So that was a really good experience. There's the view that, in fact, you have behind you is this.
Well, here we had the sauna that sat right down next to the river, and somebody went swimming in that icy cold river, and it wasn't
that was me. After the sauna, I took a dip into the river. It was wonderful. It was cold. It was very cold. These waterfalls here. He says actually the owner, Pierre Magnar, him and his wife Olga, they own the place, and it's small, beautiful, very romantic. And he's also an outdoorsman. What did she call him?
She called him a local cowboy.
Yeah, he loves hunting and fishing and all that. At any rate, he was saying that during the spring, the waterfalls are huge and they're just all over. So this was a beautiful, beautiful stay. We loved it. It was very nice because we loved all of Norway. But this, this is a hot sauna, much hotter than I'm used to. So that was our stay there in Romsdal, and those were the two domes that we had good. We really tested them out. You know, we pounded on it. I looked at it, everything. I analyzed as much as I could the quality of the parts, and we were very impressed.
We were, and we would like to say that we love these domes so much that we bought the company. But that might have been a little out of our range.
A little?
A little. So instead, we signed on to be the U.S. representatives of Dream Domes Scandinavia, because we really believed in this product, and we just want to bring it to the United States so that people can experience this level of everything: technology, beauty, architecture, all those.
Yeah, something we'll be talking about is that this is a new engineering product, which creates a new architecture, which creates a new aesthetic. So it's something fundamentally different from the other kinds of domes, and the technology is fundamentally different. So we're very, very impressed, and we're going to build our own. As a matter of fact, we're going to build a 10-meter dome. So going forward, we're going to continue to update the website with 2 video tracks. The first one is we will continue to update every new development that comes along with the Dream Domes, and they're constantly innovating and come up with some new models and some new ideas, and we'll keep you informed of that. Also, I'm going to make a video on the best way to use the website and use the catalog, where all the details are in the catalog, all the prices. And so once you see something you like, I'll show you how to just go to the catalog and look at the details. The second track will be what, Miss Alger?
Well, it's going to be our personal journey through building our own dome up on our mountain.
Exactly. It'll have the good, the bad, and the problematic. There's always something's going to come up. But we're going to vlog the entire process so you can see for yourselves. If you're on the fence, you don't know if you really want to buy one or not, you want to see what goes into it, you're going to see everything that goes into ordering the dome. Will come as a large kit. Where it's shipped to, or we think it's going to come to Baltimore Harbor. If we're not mistaken, maybe Southern Virginia. All the details from us ordering it to it arriving to how we get it up to the mountain and how we build it. So you will see it firsthand. And the other part of that vlog, we will also be traveling a lot, promoting the domes, and I'll be continuing my academic work and my work with Aurora. So that's our plans for the future. What else?
Well, so we want you all to enjoy looking over our website. Feel free to contact us at any time with any questions that you have. If we don't have an answer, we will find an answer for you right away.
So long for now from Dream Domes Scandinavia and Aurora Smart Technologies.